Obviously, you're a competitive person. May I ask, who's the most competitive person on the national team? Who's like that one person that's like the epitome of like the most competitive
Uh,
with everything, with everything?
aside from me,
Sure. Yes.
I would say Shaddy. I say Shaddy is one of the most competitive, the one of the guy that want to achieve the most. Like it, like sometimes, like yeah, I would say Shetty. Like even in like any kind of sport, sometimes we play soccer and like Shetty and I like we're good friends, and I'm gonna get into arguments with him because like I was like, no, it's not a goal. That's not a goal. What are you saying? And we get actually into arguments. And after we shake hands, and we're like, yeah, it's okay. You were right, or something like that. But I have good moment with Shetty talking about like some outside of judo and in judo, like we have. It's pretty funny.
Within the squad, the team, and so on, who's the most who's the funniest person
The
in your
funniest.
opinion? Who's that like that one person that brings people up using humor? I'm sure you guys are traveling all over the world. There's moments of boredom, moments of
Mhm,
frustration, moments of you whatever, right? There's a range of emotions, I would imagine.
mhm.
And who's that one person people can count on to make them laugh or smile or bring up their spirits?
As it's funny because like as you were explaining what you wanted to actually like make me say, I thought about Moab, the brother of Shetty.
Wow. Okay.
Like it's funny because like I said, oh, who's the funniest? Then I was like, oh, who's the funniest? I don't know who's funny. Like I say, I'm pretty funny, but I'm not that funny. But then I realize everything that Moab does, and like sometimes he does the most crazy things.
Like
And
what?
like,
Like what?
it just like I don't like I don't know like
Tell me a story. Tell us a story.
uh what did he do like recent like it there's a song like in it's a Quebec song, and like he has the tendency of always doing the same thing so much. So like during that last tournament, he was always singing that song like non ça va, je vais marcher, and we're like, the hell are you saying, Moab? And like you just it's a song, it's so good song. And then he's like you're just talking, and they're like, so how you like you want to ask he ask me if you want to lift. I'm said, Mohab, we're not having cars, just ask me if I want to lift. Then I said, do you want to lift? He said, non
No,
ça va, je vais marcher.
that's awesome, man. He sounds like quite a character, man.
Yeah,
These
it's
two,
like
Shadi and Moab, they seem like quite some characters. I wanted to know who's your number one nemesis, because right now I believe you're ranked in number
yeah.
five in the world ranking in the Olympic ranking. Who's that? Who's your number one nemesis? If you could envision like facing this person for the gold medal match at the Olympics, who would that person be?
uh, the one I have the most difficulty against, or like
The
the
most difficulty and would mean the most to beat for you in the grander scheme of things.
hmm. Yeah, so I would say Ono, which is the Olympic champion, world champion, didn't lose since like 2013. Well, he lost to me, but it's because he injured himself just before fighting me, and he actually didn't end up fighting. So, like in the record, it says Arthur Margelidon won, but that's completely untrue. I never beat that guy. Um, but like he's like the top athlete that everyone expect to win at the games, and I without saying like, yeah, I know how to beat that guy, I'm better than him, it's like it's not at that at all. I know he's top notch, but as I said, nobody's perfect, everybody makes mistakes. And I think it would mean so much to me to just get at those games in the final and beat that guy that everybody think could would win. And throughout all my career, I was a lot of times I was like uh, pushed down or like told like yeah you won that but it was easy or like I always heard those comments about
From
the
who, man? Who the hell is saying that?
I can't say names.
Fair enough, but is it?
I don't want to. I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just because I'm hearing that, and you know, as spectators, we see you guys compete, and you're kicking ass, man. You're
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You know, you drop that guy, your homeboy, pass you broke him. Changing hip. I'm telling you, anyways. Okay, I'm getting carried away. So it just when I hear that, to me, I'm just like, who's saying that? But I don't need to know the name. I
Yeah,
guess it's a very competitive circle. Sorry, continue. Please continue.
yeah. So like it's that like that's it. Like, I'm not gonna name names, but like it's just like I always liked. Actually, I loved proving people wrong. So throughout all my career, like let's say someone tells me like I'm gonna take a complete different example. You can't dunk. Well, I'm gonna show that person I'm gonna dunk, and I'm gonna without saying bad words like I was going to say, but I'm gonna dunk. And I always love to prove people wrong. And like actually, like I know people, everybody expect Ono to win, but I know I can beat him, and I would love to prove that and put like action into words. So it's just a matter of like we'll see at the game, and I'll be ready for sure.
Very interesting, man. Now, you know, I was going to ask you what's the best advice you've ever been given in terms of judo advice, but I'll ask you what's the best advice you've ever been given, and what's the best advice because you mentioned your dad as someone very instrumental in your judo career. You know, obviously he's your father. He's a judoka himself. What's the best advice he's ever given you?
Well, so I'm gonna say one that I was told actually after I missed the game in 2016 because I was qualified to go and it broke my arm, and it was such a disappointment. And like you know when you work so hard for something and you actually don't achieve it because of something that you don't control, like I was completely like beat when that happened because you're like I worked 4 years for that, and boom, and I was like I was so mad at everything, and at everything I could have done for not that to happen. And I remember my dad actually told me, so now you have two options. You either cry about it, which would be understandable, and like but he didn't say cry about it. Like you either let yourself go and you completely gave up on like something that's obviously horrible that you didn't control. You can go that path, or you go the other way and you take that as a motivation and a stepping stone towards your next event. And since that happened, I've had the best result in my career. Like it's 4 years where I was ranked in the top 10 of the world during those 4 years. So like I've obviously like still have stuff to improve, but that thing that like always remember what you miss on is something that my dad told me, and I could have gone easy and just say, okay, well, what if it happened again, or like it's such a bad thing, like and I would have had the right of saying that and just give up. But like I think just pushing through, and it helped me become a better person in judo, but also as a person in life, like not giving up when it become hard. It just hard is just what makes you better. So if you actually push through those things, you're going to get better and you're going to get something out of it. If everything's easy, you're not learning anything.